Okay, this is my garden for 2014. Here's my cabbages. They all seem to be doing pretty good. There's some weeds in there yet that I gotta get to. I find I don't have to weed quite as much around the cabbage because they create a lot of shade and kill off a lot of stuff. One thing that I've been having a problem with this year is my beans. Well, usually every year, because the rabbits and stuff will get at my beans and birds and eat my beans up. So I keep planting them like every week about May long weekend. I keep planting them every week. And I would say the bunch that I got coming now, like this one here, is probably only not quite a month old, and it's getting fairly large now. But it will be like 5 times the size of that soon. These little guys just came up, and within the next few weeks or so they'll be big too. Once they get going and they get a chance, I find the animals tend to leave them alone. One trick I found was to not weed quite as much around them, and then the animals don't tend to bug them as much. And then once they get growing really good, then you can start weeding big time around them. Especially if you got one of those little rototillers, dragonfly rototiller things, you can work around them and it helps you out big time to get the weeds out. Within the next 3 weeks or so, they should be as big as my potatoes. See my potato plants? I got lots of potatoes coming in. Our neighbor here, he's trying to grow a little bit of lettuce. He doesn't really get involved with gardens much, but I got to get him out here and get him weeding and stuff around his lettuce, because his lettuce is looking pretty thin, and we can probably put more lettuce in because it comes back pretty quick. Actually, you can keep cutting it and cutting it. You can keep planting it too all season. Like, we're not even halfway through July yet, and the plants are already getting like this. See, the potatoes are just coming. Like, I couldn't believe how much I grew in like 3 days after a few days rain. They're like crazy big. I got all the mounds made up for them. Like, I keep piling all the dirt up, so we get lots of potatoes. There's some more little beans. These little beans just came up within the week, so within a few weeks or so they should be pretty big. All these little guys, see them? I weeded around these ones a bit, just to give them a bit of a chance, since I got a lot of bean plants coming now. Help them catch up a bit. But look at the potatoes. Potatoes are coming along really good. And I just planted some new potatoes there not even a week ago, and look, they're already coming up through the ground. So within the next couple weeks or so, or a few weeks, they should be at least half the size of those ones there. Some of them are already starting to flower too, because I find at night it's been getting a little chilly out, and I think that's making the plants starting to go into flowering a bit earlier. And these here are all my beets. There's lots of beets here. I do thin them out a bit as they're starting to grow, but I tend to thin them out more as I like the beet tops. So once the beet tops get nice and bushy, I'll start thinning them out more then. That way I can use the tops and make a meal out of the tops too. It's pretty much like spinach, a little bit milder. From all the sun and heat we've been having pretty early this year, I thought the peppers would be doing a lot better already, but they're coming. They're coming. As you can see, the beets are doing really good, along with the potatoes and the cabbage. My tomatoes are doing really good too. You can see all the tomato plants there. They're coming along really good. They've only been in the ground for a few weeks. I got some more young bean plants here. We're going to have all kinds of beans. We should be able to blanch and preserve a whole bunch of beans this year. As you can see, I got them going up. I like to keep a bit of distance in between them. Right in here, there's a couple, you can't really see them, just starting to come up. And then there's some more at the end there. It's funny how they all grow at different times like that, but that's nature for you. There's some more beets. Yeah, I'll step over here, and here's my tomatoes. The tomatoes are doing really good. These tomato plants weren't even up to the second last ring there a few days ago, and now they're over to the top ring. I keep cutting the suckers off, if you see. That helps them grow a bit taller. And when they start growing tomatoes, the tomatoes can ripen quicker because the sun will get at them. See, if you see there's already tomatoes. It's not even halfway through July yet. Some there. They're all flowering. There's a bigger tomato over here. Just got to remember where it is. I'm going to cut some of these suckers off before I go in tonight too. They're getting pretty bushy again. Right there. There's a big tomato. We can see it. See if we can see it. See? There's a tomato right there. Oops. Got the camera. Almost. There's a tomato. So yeah. They're coming pretty early. I think it has a lot to do with our weather. Their weather got a lot, like, pretty warm right away, and then nights have been a little chilly. Not cold enough for frost, but probably enough to confuse these plants. So I'm hoping the rest of the season goes really good. Like I said, I'm only not even halfway into July yet. I still have new seeds coming up in different places. Hopefully we don't get snow late August or something like that, or September. That would really throw things off, but no, I think we'll be alright. I think we'll have quite a few potatoes this year. I know we're going to have a lot of beets. And the beans, we should have lots of beans too. But yeah, I guess you never know what the weather's going to do, so got to keep our fingers crossed. Those guys over there, those cows, early spring, well, when I first planted, they decided to get out of their pen there. There's a whole bunch of them way over there in the field too. But they love getting into the fresh garden, and they were digging and rolling around in the garden, so I lost a lot of beans then too, which really sucked, but I still had lots of time to plant more, and I got more coming, so I should be alright. Well, here's hoping. That's my garden for 2014. I'll show you again in another week or so and show you the progress. Okay? Vile Dream, over and out. Or I should say, Vile Man.